Welcome to the AI Ireland podcast, your window into the world of AI innovation on the island of Ireland. Join us as we explore how AI is harnessed to tackle both business and societal challenges, revealing the cutting-edge solutions emerging from this vibrant AI community. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates and insights in the world of AI. Welcome to today's AI Ireland podcast. I'm thrilled to be joined by Cian Hughes, Head of Venture Capital AI for EMEA at Oracle. If you find our conversations insightful, you won't want to miss Oracle's AI Startup event in partnership with Enterprise Ireland. Whether your free cloud credits have expired or your monthly cloud bills are spiraling out of control, this event will highlight how Oracle Cloud OCI can help scale your business with ease. Make sure to register and take advantage of this opportunity. I hope to see you there. Hello everyone, it's Mark Kelly here, CEO and founder of AI Ireland. On today's show, we've got Cian Hughes. If you're not aware of Cian Hughes, Cian is Head of Venture Capital at Oracle for EMEA. Cian, thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Hi Mark, delighted to be on the show. Good morning to you and good morning to anybody who's watching or listening.
Cian, so you have had quite a distinct background, because I was doing my kind of prep and I was going through all your experience. You've worn multiple hats, and how I'd explained it is, you've come at it from so many different angles, from that 360 perspective, where an awful lot of us might come from maybe a startup perspective or maybe kind of consumer perspective, but you've also had the opportunity to kind of work in the world of VCs. So you come in from so many different angles as well. Before we start off the episode, we kind of talk a little bit about the work that you're doing at Oracle. Maybe just give me a brief overview about your work and what you've been doing over the last 15, 20 years.
So I started off in technology. I started working for Lotus Development a long time ago. Lotus was the famous developers of Lotus 123 and Lotus Notes. They were bought back in the 90s by IBM and continued really with Notes during that period of time. I worked for Intel for a while, which was a fantastic experience in Leixlip in international products, and really amazing organization to work for and quite ahead of its time back then. Really wonderful organization to help to develop confidence and really understanding of how a large global corporate operated. I did a couple of startups along the way during the years. I also worked for a really great company called Meta Creations. They were a graphics product company, software development when I joined first, but really wonderful products, and were acquired eventually by companies like Adobe and Corel. And they're interesting that they were called Meta at the time, Meta Creations, and certainly no connection. Then I worked for Palm, as in the Palm Pilot and the Palm Trio smartphone, for probably from about 2004 to about 2008 when they were acquired by HP. And I worked for HP for a little bit after that transition. But in 2008, I really got involved with investment, with venture capital, with accelerators, and with Silicon Valley. And probably fair to say that my journey there began with the Irish Technology Leadership Group. It's run by a good friend of mine, John Hartnett. And John is also the founder of Silicon Valley Global, and the Thrive organization in Silicon Valley is based over there. So during that period of time, I led the build out of an accelerator in downtown San Jose, and also worked on the initial fund that SVG had in terms of getting investment available for companies, not just in Ireland and the UK, but also across Silicon Valley as well. And the whole idea was to build a bridgehead between Ireland and the UK, Northern Ireland in particular. We did a lot of work with Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, and get companies to use that bridgehead, leverage the investment capability that we had at the time, and to use that to enter into the Silicon Valley market and the US market, which really gives them an opportunity to scale. Then during that period of time, just did some amazing things. I'd say I got to see every startup on the island of Ireland during that period of time, working with Enterprise Ireland and all of the VCs that were in Ireland as well. And some really amazing events, bringing people together and leveraging the Irish diaspora, particularly the ones that were based in Silicon Valley. And then I joined a data center company for a couple of years called Wave to Wave, somewhere in just after my time with Silicon Valley Global. and then moved to the UK back in 2017 and moved to Cambridge, where I live right now. So I live in Cambridge since 2017. I have to say, I really do like living here. It's a great place to live. And in 2018, some of the guys that I had worked with during the Silicon Valley Global Adventure, shall we say, had set up a fund called Sure Valley, and they asked me to join as a partner with the firm, and indeed I did. And I was a partner with Sure Valley until earlier this year, around about March timeframe, when Oracle asked me to come on board as head of venture capital for AI for EMEA, which is what I'm doing now. And I'm having a very interesting adventure with Oracle now, back in the world of blue chips and corporate land.
So many follow-up questions, but we don't have the time. But I'm sure I will go into additional questions on future podcasts with yourself, Cian. So you had, a variety of different experiences. So you get to see companies big and small. You get to see the different types of environment. It's fair to say you've been stepping outside your comfort zone through all those different types of journeys, and kind of embracing change and being able to kind of put your finger on the pulse for so many different things. You would have had a lot of suitors. What was it that led you to join Oracle as the head of VC for AI for EMEA?
I think I've always been very excited about technology. As you can see from my career, I've always been looking to be part of the cutting edge of technology. So back in the 90s, it was really the personal computer. Networking was kind of pretty limited at that stage. And then as you went through the 90s, there was more networking. The internet became something that people actually understood what it was. Like, the internet didn't exist for people that weren't deeply involved in technology until probably the mid 90s. And then if you think about that internet experience, like when I joined Intel, we weren't allowed to use the internet. It was forbidden to use the internet when we were there. And then literally within about 3 months of joining Intel, everybody was told the internet is the future. Everybody's got to learn how to use it. You've got to start using it immediately. So it was quite interesting the way that moved. But the way technology has moved over time, it's gone from being, certainly from my earlier stage, it was, moving into the personal computer from, VMS. So it was going to personal computer, to networking, to the internet, to e-commerce, to mobile computing, to all of the things that we're seeing today. Particularly, you're seeing things like the metaverse, although I think the metaverse is not what the future of the metaverse is probably not what we were told about maybe a couple of years ago. But now we're moving much more into an AI age where AI is everywhere. The latest iPhone has, we've all been using AI in our iPhones. It's just that most people didn't realize it. And, we're just going to move into an age where AI is doing a lot of stuff. And I think it'll just become part of our lives. And I think it's that. So why did I join Oracle? It's mainly because of Oracle's deep focus on AI at the moment, and the infrastructure that they have, which supports AI, particularly across the enterprise. And also I had some engagement with Oracle over the past number of years. So I knew some of the folks in the team there, and they had, shall we say, encouraged me to join based on the, I guess, where Oracle is, the exciting things they're doing, and the opportunity.
And, Oracle is known for its top-tier infrastructure. And can you go into a little bit of detail about how Oracle is supporting venture-backed startups, particularly in the AI space, with its world-class infrastructure and enterprise technology?
Oracle, as I said, it's a very large global corporate blue chip company, and always at the cutting edge of technology. And we're very focused on engaging with AI and deep tech companies that are looking to scale globally, and particularly companies that are in the B2B or B2C space. So in terms of how Oracle can help, it's specifically around infrastructure and go-to-market. So Oracle has best-in-class GPU infrastructure in the cloud. We've got relationships with NVIDIA, with Microsoft, with AWS, just announced last week, and with Google. And we've got AI built into all of our software across the board as well, even the software that we have for example, for ERP or for all the other verticals that we're operating in. And we are very keen to make that infrastructure available to companies that are in that scaling space that are looking to globally scale their companies, but also we support them through our partner network. Oracle has more than 430,000 customers worldwide, which are our global partner network. And I believe that there's very few companies, or there are no companies, that can't leverage that if they engage with Oracle. So it's a mix of that fantastic infrastructure, wonderful support, by the way, as well, which is something that I think is kind of unique to Oracle, the support that we provide in terms of the technology support. So companies that are onboarding onto our infrastructure or who are migrating from one infrastructure to another, we provide phenomenal support for those companies to onboard and to scale with our infrastructure. And then we offer them support in engaging with our global partner network as well.
So you've been part of the Oracle's SMB scale-up team. Could you just delve a little bit more detail about kind of how you're helping small businesses leverage AI and scale their operations? Because one thing that comes to mind, in your previous life, you would have been on the other side of the fence, or you would have kind of got different types of insights from what those customers' journey was. I'm quite interested to kind of see, that obviously would have played a part in why you joined Oracle, because I'm guessing you got a good feeling, not that you didn't get a good feeling from the other hyperscalers, but what was it that kind of helped, and what do you think makes that difference?
So I think there's a few things there. One is we live in a world at the moment of a scarcity of GPUs and of compute technology in the cloud. So there's shortages there because of, just in terms of the demand that there is for this kind of compute, and the race to get the hardware available to customers. So Oracle have overcome that by putting in a special partnership and agreement with NVIDIA to support their infrastructure requirements and their customers. So that's number one. And I think that's really important, particularly as a VC. If you're investing in a company and they're constrained because the infrastructure is not available to allow them to scale, that's not helpful. So working with a hyperscaler who has that capacity and has that capability is very important for as a VC. And I saw that, as you said, on the VC side. The other one is around the go-to-market strategy. And I think, probably to give you an example, I work with quite a lot of healthcare startups. And when I say startups is a range. It's startups and scale-ups, really. I think, Oracle would probably see anyone in the SMB space as being a startup or a scale-up. Whereas in VC speak, startups are probably up as far as maybe and including Series A. So when we say startups, it's startups and scale-ups. And in terms of the healthcare space, Oracle 3 years ago identified a requirement to have a healthcare division within the organization. So we identified a company called Cerner. We bought Cerner for, I think, around about $28 billion, and it became Oracle's healthcare division. So to give kind of an understanding of how that might work, a company that engages with Oracle, engages with the infrastructure, engages with me, who's looking to get an opportunity to scale in the healthcare space and access customers all over the world, can engage through the Oracle Healthcare organization. And we have a team of people that can help them to engage with that organization, identify customers, and sell their product through our global partner network.
It's an incredible ecosystem to be charged in, like the breadth of information, tacit knowledge, and kind of learns that you can kind of bring to that is very, very advantageous.
Well, think about the fact that Oracle is the custodian of the world's data for nearly 50 years. The data is so important, particularly in an AI age, and Oracle has the ability to manage that data for just so many customers. And if you think about the kind of customers that are there, they're government customers, they're large corporate customers, they're enterprise customers across the board. So it's those kind of customers that are able to provide that infrastructure and network for the startups that are coming on board and allow them to scale very quickly and sell their products globally.
Yeah, and you're giving them that access, which,
Absolutely.
Working in the world of sales, kind of up nearly at 17, 18 years now, the reality is it takes so much to get that first customer on board, not to mention like a paying customer. So if you're getting some doors opened up for you and some introductions, to say that's priceless would be an understatement.
Absolutely priceless. And if you think about the depth and breadth of that network as well, the 430,000 customers worldwide across multiple verticals in that whole enterprise space, very, very valuable. Think about the saving of time of route to market and also the speed of revenue capture.
When you look at your background in investing, and I'm thinking about now, AI, AR, cyber, IoT, how do you see AI specifically transforming industries within Oracle's EMEA region?
I think, as I said, AI is going to be, it's going to be used by everybody, unknowns to themselves, as we kind of move forward, even at the particularly probably at the B2C level, and then obviously from a B2B or B2B2C perspective, that will be, planned, it will be implemented, it will be used in a way to solve specific problems. And remember, the whole thing about technology is, what problem does it solve? How do we implement this? How does it provide value for our customers? All of that kind of strategy around that. So I think we're going to see changes in things like customer service, within sales, within the the software, the platforms associated with that, because AI will be able to operate, particularly as an agent, or as a for want of a better term, a buddy, the common term that we see being used to facilitate and support folks that are involved in those customer service roles, the sales roles, and also in the software development roles. The whole idea of using AI to help with coding, but not necessarily doing not necessarily the architecture, certainly not now, but also the ability to create a lot of the, what would I call it, the repetitive work, or take over a lot of that repetitive work, and allow people to focus on what's critical.
It's funny, I think it's probably about a year ago, 2 years ago, I was speaking to Dan in the team, and I was kind of surprised because Oracle has a significant partnership with NVIDIA for AI infrastructure. And people may underestimate that. How does this collaboration enhance Oracle's capabilities in helping startups and VC-backed firms grow?
Well, I think there's a couple of things there. One is the quality of the infrastructure. So NVIDIA have top quality infrastructure. They've got the best chips at the moment, for sure. And we have access to those. As I said, we've got an agreement with NVIDIA to provide us with a percentage of their global output on an annual basis. And that really helps us with ensuring that we have supply and capacity for our customers. And I think that, as I said, that's very important. Also, the relationship there in terms of customers, partnerships and accessing customers together, supporting customers together, I think is very important.
When you think about, with the hat that you had on with Share Valley Ventures and other roles, what are the key factors considering when you're actually evaluating AI startups? And then the second part of that would be question, how does that align with Oracle's vision for supporting innovation?
So I think in terms of evaluating companies, and as you can imagine, I've seen a lot of AI startups over the last while in various different stages as well. So anything from pre-seed or even just almost sandbox to companies that are quite well advanced, or at Series B, maybe Series C. So I think really for pretty much any investor who's looking at a company, you're looking for a technology or a solution that solves a real problem, that fixes a genuine pain point for customers, and where those customers are willing to pay for that solution. So there's lots of things that we like freemium, we like free stuff, but the customer has got to be willing to pay for this as well. The pain has got to be great enough. Yeah. The problem has got to be big enough that the customer is willing to pay for that solution. And there's got to be enough customers from a global perspective to actually go and buy this product across the world to make the business big enough or scalable. And it's got to be that. And certainly from a VC perspective, or the venture capital side of things, venture capitalists are looking for companies that are global scalers, that are unicorns, that will be billions of dollars in value. That's the kind of companies that they're looking for. There's lots of other great companies that will scale to be smaller numbers, and they're fine, but they're probably just out of scope for the venture capital investor. I think that's probably fair to say. So that's the kind of thing that we're all looking for. We're looking for companies that, genuinely can scale, that solve real problems that people will pay for.
And if I just ask you to look ahead, which is very, very difficult in the world that we're living in at the moment, what are the emergent AI trends or technologies that you believe will have the biggest impact on the venture capital landscape in the coming years, especially within the EMEA region?
I think what we're seeing is more and more reliance on GPU type technology, which means that it's typically AI, but it's more than that, because remember, GPUs are, they're graphical processors. So we will see more vision systems. We'll see more augmented reality. We'll see more holographic systems. We're going to see a lot more of that visual aspect of the use of the GPU to do that kind of that crunching, shall we say, the compute to make these systems real. I think we'll also see more activity around quantum computing. We'll definitely see more activity around cybersecurity. We'll see more activity that's, because of the fact that technology is just everywhere, there's going to be more and more requirements for security around there. And that requires more and more compute, more and more, shall we say, predictive analysis around where cyber attacks might take place, that kind of thing as well. So apart from the fact that, the AI piece making our lives easier, or taking up shall we say, the repetitive tasks and doing those works for us, I also think that we're going to see a lot more around robotics. And remember, AI will be a huge requirement around that in terms of the sensors, the predictive activity, knowing what's going to happen next, catching that cup before it falls and smashes on the ground if you're a robot. How is that going to work? So that's all about AI. That's all about understanding the environment and, computers understanding and seeing, and the computer vision around that. So I think that's, I think it's super exciting.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible to see some of these robotics. And then you've got these kind of large language model style interfaces that are talking and engaging with you. And now the robots have got the digital dexterity. It's just to pick up, as you say, a glass, open a door, in terms of how they can do so many different types of things. It's fascinating. I'd be interested to actually ask you that question in a year's time and to see what changes have actually happened since
also
then.
Also in automotive,
Yeah.
Mark, as well. Think about your self-driving cars, all of that kind of stuff. They're effectively robots. They're predictive analysis that you're driving along on the motorway or the freeway or whatever, and that's making decisions. That your car is making decisions for you if you're in self-drive mode. It's deciding whether to slow down or speed up or change lane or whatever it is, and it's understanding its environment based on vision, sensors, all that kind of stuff. So it's very exciting.
It's funny because we don't live in San Francisco, but like Waymo is driving like over 100,000 rides per week, and the accidents are down. The incidents are down. Yes, there's loads of unintended consequences, which, if you know me, I talk an awful lot about as a joke. But the reality is that is something that a few years ago you'd be thinking, I don't think this is going to be able to play out for so many different reasons. But if anyone's been in a Waymo, yes, it can be initially daunting at the start, but you soon get used to it, and then you can see the practicalities of that as well. So it's very, very interesting times, to say the least.
Very much so. I'm coming to a city near you soon.
Yeah, definitely. Cian Hughes, Head of Venture Capital at Oracle for EMEA. Thank you very much for joining us on the AI Ireland podcast today.
Thanks very much. Really enjoyed it.
On the 26th of November, join us for the 6th Annual AI Awards at the Marco Hotel in Dublin. This year's event promises to be our largest and most impressive yet, with over 300 community members in attendance and over 48 applications of AI in action. This truly is an incredible world-class event, and we are inviting you to this event. Experience the excitement live, because we're going to be capturing this with a world-class film crew, and it's going to be streamed online. However, if you want to join us in person,
Book your table now because opportunities are limited. If you're interested in sponsoring this year's awards, please contact me at Market.ai Awards for more information and see the best in class of AI applications on the island of Ireland.